The Games have officially begun. The Tokyo Olympics opening ceremony is now underway. The theme of the night is United by Emotion. One by one, the contingents of various countries entered the stadium. The countries' names are being called out alphabetically. Team India has also been introduced, and comprising 120 athletes, this is India's largest ever Olympic contingent. Less than 1,000 people, mostly dignitaries, including the Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga, US First Lady Jill Biden and the French President Emmanuel Macron are attending the event. There are no fans at the stadium because of coronavirus restrictions. The Olympics were delayed by a year because of the pandemic. The Games have been marred by several controversies, including a COVID-19 outbreak. The opening ceremony's director was sacked earlier over Holocaust jokes. But organizers insist that the Games will indeed be successful. The sentiment across Japan is against holding the Games. Earlier in the day, people in Tokyo took to the streets to protest against the opening ceremony. Our correspondent Phoebe Amoroso brings you this next report from Ground Zero. Take a look.
The public, I would say, over the past few months, we've seen repeatedly that the majority of people are opposed to the Games. They really feel, as she's mentioned, it's not the right time during a pandemic. Just to kind of recap on Japan's situation, whilst cases of COVID-19 have not been as severe as many other countries, it has a shortage of medical staff and hospital beds for treating those with COVID-19, which means that their system's easily overwhelmed. In fact, back in April, there were cases in the city of Osaka where they had to turn people away. There was just not enough room in the hospitals, and reports of people dying at home. So this is why there's a huge amount of concern over the COVID-19 cases. And in fact, just today, there's been a further 19 cases associated with the Olympic Games being confirmed. That total is now reached 106 since July the 1st. According to the organisers, this represents just a minuscule percentage of the thousands of people who have come into Japan during this time, and it's not seen as a risk. However, many others are disagreeing. There are public health experts such as Kenji Shibuya. He has said that the bubble is really broken, that athletes and officials are going out, there is some mingling with the local population, and that really remains a concern. Then there's also further resentment on the point of the Japanese public in that Tokyo is under its fourth state of emergency. There are restrictions being imposed here on daily life. Restaurants have to close, for example, by 8 p.m, and now alcohol sales have been prohibited. Everyone's being told to stay at home, to not go out, to refrain from contact with others.
WION World is One is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.